Hello Capricorns, and welcome back everybody. My name is Sarah Mackenzie. I read as Sora for Sky Messages by Sora. Sora Sky Messages. This series is based on all of the different astrological happenings in October. And while I'm not an astrologer, I do love reading about it, and then I go to the cards to make sense of everything. And we have a lot coming up. So on the 23rd, the Sun and Venus go into Scorpio, starting Scorpio season. And then 2 days later, we have the new moon in Scorpio, starting eclipse season. There are also planets going out of retrograde, going direct, and Mars will be going into retrograde in Gemini on the 30th. So we are using the Bridge Witches deck, and while I shuffle, I will thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, all of that. If you would like your own personal reading, please head over to my website to book or send me an email. I will not contact you, but if you are looking for a reading, I will absolutely do that. You can also sign up for the newsletter, learn about the tarot deck that I am consulting on for Killerpancake Illustrations, which is the illustrator of this deck. And we are going to start with a card for you. We have, with the Ten of Cups, the Happy Endings card. This is such a great card because it speaks to reaching a goal, getting to a place where you want to be. Oftentimes people talk about things like marriage, but it doesn't have to be. It is just those moments where you have leveled up in the relationship or in an area of your life that makes you happy. The cups are emotions and relationships, and while that is why it generally gets called the Happy Endings card or that card of marriage, it is really the things that make your heart full. One thing with this card is to understand that even when there are things that make you very happy, they come with the reminders of what got you there. So it's okay to have mixed emotions. It's okay to be extremely happy, but still feel sad that there's somebody missing out because they've already gone, or because those were the relationships that ties needed to be cut so that you could move forward to get to this point. You know, it's okay to acknowledge how you got there and be proud, but also wistful. I know emotions aren't really our things as earth signs, but this card tells you that it's okay. Take all of them and everything that comes with it. Next, I like to look at the general situation for what's going on for you guys, and that is death. Perfect for Scorpio season. That is the card that represents Scorpio, and it is about new chapters. So it is a card of endings, but it is what we do with those endings. It is a card of transformation, new chapters. It works perfectly with the Ten of Cups because it says, okay, now that you've gotten here, now that you've got what you wanted, how does that change you? Who are you now? And so there is this evolution, this reflection, and this growth that is going to happen. As your first two cards, the ones representing you and your situation, that says there's going to be a lot happening, probably fairly rapid fire, as you see yourself moving from one thing to another. Please take the time to notice it and welcome it. Next, we're going to look at what to watch for. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of crazy energies going on, and this is going to kind of be our heads up. You have the Nine of Cicadas, or the Nine of Coins. This is a card of great comfort. and having everything you need. And I mean in a material, financial, resource type aspect. As a what to watch for, can watch for, this can be something like a raise or a new opportunity to gather up those things that you were lacking before. It is a chance to settle in and make your space comfortable and cozy. It is a card of reaching a point where you have enough. So in terms of what to watch for, it's where to look, or it's looking for those things to come in, grabbing a hold of them. That we have what needs to be healed. That is the Tower. It's fairly on the nose, given that the Tower is a card of destruction. The key being that short term it is devastating, but long term it is exactly what we need. So this fits very well with this Ten of Cups and Death. What needs to be healed is the shakeups and devastations that brought you to this point. Part of that is understanding, again, that those things needed to be cleared out of the way so that you could get to this point where you have opportunities, where you can build yourself back up. And in this way, that safe space, or that comfortable space, that comfy, cozy area, comes directly from having to have cleared out the foundation in the first place. Having to have started with a cleared area so you can build a stronger foundation, and one that will not come down this time. I do hope that helps with the healing from the Tower, but that is what needs to be healed, as the fear and or the fear and trauma and that sort of thing from the devastating occurrence. And that will help with that wealth of mixed emotions as well. The next one is, where do I need to pause before I jump in? There's a lot of impulsive type energies that go really well with chaos. And they're just asking you where you need to maybe take a breath before acting. And that is the Eight of Cicadas, or the Eight of Pentacles. Now, this is often a card of feeling micromanaged. So that pause very well may be where you need to give yourself a moment before you tell people what to do with their advice. So often we hit this point where we know what we're doing and we're trying to work with it, and people are telling you what you can and can't do. People are asking you why you're doing everything. Everything seems to be questioned. This is that moment to take that pause. Listen to the advice. Take it or not, but just pause before you respond. Kind of a respond instead of react idea. Finally, I'm going to grab the shadow card, just the bottom of the deck, the hidden elements, and that is the Fool. Now that is a card of blank slates. That is the card of new beginnings, and it is the card of going through the cycle and going deeper into the lesson. But it is also a card, back to evolution, it is the card of going through things with only the knowledge and wisdom from what came before, not the baggage. Essentially, when that Tower is healed, all of the rest of the pieces fall into place. Understanding that you are building that foundation is important. But it can also make you a little defensive, which might be where that Eight of Cicadas is coming from. You know, this Fool card says that as you start to see life in cycles and you understand that sometimes we need things cleared out so we can start over, you will start to see that growth and that transformation and that happy ending that the rest of this is trying to tell you about. So this is kind of heavy work for you, Capricorn. But it's absolutely something you can handle. Have a wonderful Scorpio season.